Now, what's up, y'all? Let me, hold on. I was eating some plantain chips. All right. Well, I come out here and tell y'all. Oh, I remember now. So, first of all, let me get over here. I got some things I need to do. I need to tie these tomatoes to these steaks. That's number one. But I did want to show y'all. I think I may mention something about see if I got to tie these up because they just keep falling. There it is. I see him now. See, I have to lift him so I can show y'all. Y'all see that? So these tomatoes will make fruit. Remember when I said I was unsure if they'll make fruit? I'm so crazy, y'all. We ain't had no rain. Well, we got some freak rain 2 days ago for about 20 minutes. I couldn't believe it. All that rain dancing I've been doing, it wasn't doing nothing till just, I don't know, 2 days ago out of nowhere. We just got some rain. But these tomatoes will make tomatoes. And it looks like they're going to make tomatoes true to what I ate. Because this indeed does look like a very small San Marzano, which is what I got, which is mini San Marzanos. But I kept wondering, oh, my tomatoes, why don't make nothing? Now, don't get me wrong, they look a food. Y'all see all that brownness in them? It just heat. It's cooking them. I mean, and I know I did the video talking about shade cloth and stuff. It's not feasible for me to shade my stuff. It's not that big of a thing to me. If y'all watch my channel, y'all know the last 2 years has been a year to tomato. I have years that do like that. Maybe these next few days, it'll be cool enough for these tomatoes to set. But I don't know why. Out of all these years I've been gardening, out of all these years I tell y'all, just because your tomatoes quit setting fruit in the middle of the summer, don't pull them. And I'm so crazy and forgot. That's why those weren't setting any fruit. It's been too hot. But see, we get those droughts and we get all that kind of stuff and the heat and stuff. But it seems like it's set in a little earlier this year. It seems like around, which today is July 25th. But it still seems like those droughts and the heat waves start setting in July, August. Usually June, it's usually hot, but it's not hot enough to stop your tomatoes from setting. So that's why my tomatoes, and then it didn't help that I got them in the ground late. But see, I didn't know all this heat was going to start this early either. I got my tomatoes maybe in 2 or 3 weeks too late. And then that just did me in. So what I'm banking on is probably all these tomatoes. I'm probably going to have a good harvest come probably around September, October, when it starts cooling off. I usually have tomatoes all the way into November as long as we don't have no frost. Because y'all know me, I don't pull my stuff unless the frost kills it. So, like I said, it's been blooming. Just know which kind, but y'all can look at this okra though. This okra ain't playing no games. Okra ain't playing no games, and I can't remember what I planted. It does have pods on it. None of the okra has opened yet. I got some stuff in here I got to break off. But yeah, all of them are starting to put on pods. Let's see. So y'all can see, and a lot of people, I didn't know people was doing this, but I guess it makes sense. I guess it depends on how you grow. I don't care if my okra branch. I actually prefer for it to branch. Makes more okra that way. And it's more okra down low versus okra way up high. You have to bend the plant over. But lots of people is taking the branches and talking about, and they talking about suckering it. Basically, they're saying they're breaking the branches off because that branch is like a sucker on a tomato plant and all. Let me tell y'all something. Okra and tomato ain't in the same family. I'm going to say that again. Okra and tomatoes ain't in the same family. I'm going to say that one more time. Okra and tomatoes ain't in the same family. There's no such thing as a sucker on an okra plant. Will it branch? Hell yeah, it'll branch. It grow like trees. Tomatoes don't necessarily grow like trees. Okra do. Y'all ever notice how the okra stem it gets so doggone big and then sometimes it almost like it's getting bark at the bottom of it? When that branches, that ain't taking no energy from your plant. That branch gonna make okra. So how is it taking energy from your plant if the branch gonna make okra? Somebody answer me that question. But see, that's because you've been listening to somebody, I don't know who, that has no clue what they're talking about. Now, if you are taking those branches off because you grow in a very tight row and you don't have room for those branches, that's a different story. But say I'm taking the branches off because I don't have room for all that. Just like when people be pruning and suckering and stuff, they tomatoes and stuff, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do it. Now, let me say this. We're going through a drought right now. If you one of these places where you get a ton of rain, so much rain that a lot of time your foliage and stuff don't dry out or whatever, and don't use this year's the way these tomatoes look as a model for how my tomatoes usually look. Use, yes, Felix. How may I help you? What, Felix? You making all this noise. But don't use this year's tomatoes as a modicum for how my tomatoes usually look. My tomatoes, y'all know my tomatoes don't be like that. Y'all know by now my tomatoes, you can't even see the cage. That's how you know, number one, I was late. Number two, this drought is burning up everything. I mean, my stuff is suffering. But I'm not going to use shade cloth. I'm sorry. It's enough work for me to be worried about, oh, the shade cloth, and then when the wind blow, it blows all it. Because we still be having windy days, just no rain. And it blows all your crap from here to the next week, and you got to try to put up some more infrastructure to hold the shade cloud. Let me tell you something. It's too much work for me. It ain't that big of a deal for me. I have enough stuff out here that I can eat without worrying about these damn tomatoes. And to be real with you, something is buzzing down and now, or it's a bumblebee. No, it ain't. That's some other kind of bug. I don't know what kind of bug that is. It need to go on about this business. I don't know what that is. Can y'all see that? What in the hell is that? Somebody tell me. The thing flies. I can't handle it. It's too much on my psyche. But yeah, like I said, this year's the year of the pepper for me. And if y'all know, the last couple of years, between seeds that wouldn't germinate, transplants that didn't make it, just a whole bunch of different stuff. Starting too late. I just never did get them. But this year I was really focused on peppers. Y'all. I mean, the peppers, let me show you. I looked up and looked around and didn't even realize how many peppers I had on this. Now, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is called Bishop's Hat. I think that's what that one's called. See the Bishop's Hat? Yeah, it's Bishop's Hat. So, and over here, I'm still unsure right now what kind of peppers these are. But they are making peppers. Let me show you. See the flower has fallen off of that. I got several places where the flowers have come off, but they're still just so small that and some of these I do. So you can see this one. So I'm gonna have plenty of peppers. And y'all know my fish pepper down here showing out, and it's got several more blooms. I'm not sure if those plants are supposed to get that big, or that one did get stunted slightly. These are growing. I transplanted 2 other ones from where they were. I have another idea of something I'm going to do, but I transplanted these 2 over here. This eggplant has, and I've never had these type of pests, like spider mites or something. I'm not familiar with this crap. See, I keep trying to tell y'all, some of y'all growing stuff that's drawing this stuff to your garden, and you won't listen to me. You keep growing these damn marigolds, but keep on growing them. I'm good on that. I'm not growing the marigolds. Matter of fact, I got a whole pack of, anybody want some French marigolds? Since y'all love these marigolds, you can have them. Anybody want some French marigolds? Let me show you. The first person to contact me and tell me they want these marigolds, you can have them for free. I'll send them to you. I'm not going to charge you shit, because I don't want them. I got a whole bag of these suckers. That's probably 200 seeds. A whole bag of them. And these are French ones, the little bitty ones. The ones you can get in the store that they think is so cute and all that kind of stuff. You can have them. I don't want that crap. Because after I got rid of the marigolds, I never had whitefly again. Y'all pay attention to the people who love marigolds. They stay with whitefly. They stay with spider mites. They stay. You keep growing this. Don't even get me started. And I keep trying to tell y'all, she changed her channel name. It was The Gardening Realtor. But Beverly Palmer, when she was taking her master's gardener's class. The instructor told her, if you're not growing an heirloom variety of marigolds, which is very hard to come by, most seeds are not heirloom variety. They're those hybrid varieties. Those hybrid varieties actually draw the pests to your garden. Her master gardener class teacher told her that 2 years ago. But see, and I keep trying to tell y'all, y'all keep watching these folks and think it's normal for you to be fighting all these spider mites and all this. I fight enough cabbage lupus. I don't need to fight nothing else. You know what I'm saying? But that's me and enough of my ranting on that. Y'all just see how the tomatoes just burnt my leaves up. I think what I'm gonna do is top all these tomatoes and make it push the energy into these suckers. And that's another thing. You don't have to sucker your tomatoes either. I don't. Anybody who's ever seen me grow tomatoes know they grow completely out of control. But like I said, if you got a space restriction and you can't do that, then you can't do that. You see what I'm saying? But to be telling people, oh, you must sucker your tomatoes, it takes energy away from the plant, it's bullshit. Excuse my French, but it is. And these suckers will push out fruit, and it does not take away from the production. Let me go back. If your soil is right, and if you think I'm lying, I grew one black cherry last year, one plant. It got so huge by the end of the season. All I did was count my tomatoes. I didn't weigh them. By the end of the season, I harvested over 300 or 400 tomatoes. And that's only because I can't really remember what I wrote down. But I know about 300 or 400 black cherry. Now, those are cherry tomatoes. They're about that big. But still, 300 or 400. I didn't sucker nothing. See, I don't show out my harvest because that's a waste of time to me. Like, how many times you gonna watch somebody pick something? My beans, if Garfield will stay off y'all, Garfield be up here pulling my stuff down. I can't even, cause Garfield, he just be up here, pulling my beans down. I just look at him. Whenever I come over here and I see stuff dangling down here like this, it's been Garfield. He's been over here. But that's y'all favorite little buddy, though. But I noticed this year even my aphids are down. But I'm gonna tell you like this. I think my aphids are down because of that garlic spray. Because of the garlic spray. I've been noticing that too. Because of that garlic spray, I haven't had half as many of some of this stuff that I usually have. My aphids, usually by now my cowpeas are covered in aphids. And it's about time for me to spray the garlic spray again. But the rain's coming Friday. And I don't want to spray it. It's supposed to rain for 2 days. Supposed to. We're going to see what happens. Because even my comfrey is suffering. That's how bad this drought mess is. It's been so hot here. My beans, that's another thing I want y'all to know. A lot of times your beans won't set. Y'all see this right here? And I want to mention this. Nobody ever mentions that beans won't set in super high temp weather. I've never heard anybody mention it. I found it out after I grew Kentucky Wonder Pole beans. My Kentucky Wonder Pole beans were growing beautifully in the spring, early summer. Then late summer, they started looking like this when it started getting hot as fire. You see, I got a bean here. I may eat these little bitty ones. I may just eat them raw. But you can see I got blooms and stuff growing everywhere. And then you say, why won't they set? Just like I had a ton of blooms over here. A ton. And the vast majority of them did not set. I was like, is there a pest eating them? And I had to think about it. It's the middle of the freaking summer. And I know what y'all probably saying, well, just pull that and put something else. No. Those root systems are already established. So what I'm going to do is, this is a mimosa. How did you get up here? Anyway, what I'm going to do is, I think I need to add some mulch to that. But I'm just going to keep these alive and baby these. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. In about a month when it cools off, them suckers will go to making. Because that's what my Kentucky Wonders did. They went right back to making. And they were back. And when they started back making, they were making like 2-3 pounds of beans a day, and I had like 8 plants, 8 Kentucky Wonder plants. Now I won't lie, Kentucky Wonders are very prolific beans. These here are not pole beans, they're bush beans. However, I'm assuming that when they go back to making, they should, because they really haven't made anything. I mean, they've made a bean here, a bean there, but it's just been too hot. Just like these plants over here, they're steadily making flowers, but none of them are taking because it's so freaking hot. The pollen, it's cooking the pollen. Like I said, it's the equivalent to, when guys have fertilization problems, they tell them to wear boxers and all that stuff, keep your balls cool and all that stuff. It's the same thing. Pollen is basically the same thing. It's like when you're cooking the pollen, it's not viable. It won't be viable to do anything. So, yeah. But this spider mite problem, just like it tried to stunt the top of this, but you see the eggplants, it's like, screw it. I'll just push out branches. Just screw it. I'll push out branches. That's what I love about eggplants. But yeah. So, I just wanted to go over that right quick. It's been so hot here that I haven't gotten a ton of stuff out of this garden. Believe it or not, it's so hot it actually makes the Jamaican sorrel wilt in the summertime. I don't think my video may have showed it wilting a little bit, but the other day, this stuff looked like it was about to die, literally. And I had never seen it wilt down to that level. And then we got that rain for 20 minutes that day, and it kind of revived it. I also want to mention this: when you're in a drought, please understand you have to water way more than you normally do. One day I'm going to get out here and water and show you guys how you can be watering a spot for 10 or 15 minutes, and you'll think that, okay, yeah, the ground ought to be wet by now, and you can go in and dig back the soil, and right where you've been watering, 2 inches under the ground, is dry. So I'm going to go in and show you guys that, because I had that happen here, and I was like, I want to show them, that, because this is all the stuff that nobody really shows you, and they assume that you should know. Or some people will lay a hose out and think that, well, I left it out there 30 minutes, but did you go check and actually see if the soil was saturated or not? Because if you didn't, you probably just, because water doesn't always, people just assume they see going into the ground. Water doesn't always follow the path that you would think it would. It also makes a difference on how hydrophilic versus hydrophobic, how hydrophobic your soil is. If you have hydrophilic soils, it's a good thing. It can be a bad thing, but mostly it's a good thing. But if you have, it's a good thing in drought. But if you have hydrophobic soils, which I have spots that are hydrophobic, and I'll show you, and I have spots that are hydrophilic, and I'll show you that, you will see how that does. Here's a bean that took. This is the first bean over here I see that took. You see, they're all little, guys. So I think I'm gonna break this one off and eat it. Where is that? Here. Because you do want to keep your beans picked. When you don't keep them picked, See, them beans are so good. That was actually sweet. Well, I wish it was set fruit, but I see 2 beans. One here. One here. There's one. Gonna eat you. They're freaking delicious if they would set, but it's hard to get them to set because of heat. So if you're having an issue in your garden, just be patient. I know people want to harvest every day, all day, because that's what we see a whole bunch of people doing. But gardening is not harvesting every day. I just want to let you guys know. I put some Egyptian walking onions in here. It's good to see they're coming up. And put some in several places. There's one there. It hasn't come up yet. If I sent you Egyptian onions, let me know in the comment section how they're doing. I don't have any more to send out, by the way. So nobody asked. I've been wanting to try this. So people be talking about you can take a cowpea. Where we at? 20 minutes? You can take a cowpea and eat it like a green bean when it's young. So here we go. This is obviously young, right? So let's try this. Oh, wow. It's not exactly the same. Off top, there's some sweetness. But on the back end, I don't see, it's hard for me to, because I don't know how many of y'all have actually done this. I'm gonna do it on this one too. Here's another young one. This is a different variety. These are Lady Creams. Those are okay. Let me give you a real deal. These right here, I don't know how many of y'all have actually taken a green, like a lot of people hull their peas at this stage, or maybe a little bit after this. They don't wait until they're, I'm gonna show you what stage I hull mine. If I can reach up here and get one. I hold mine at this stage, which is where they're already starting to dry a little bit. A lot of people hold them when they're still green. There's nothing wrong with that, but see, the thing is, I save seeds, and I don't know which, like, I don't keep my pea seeds separate from my seed storage. I just hold them all, and when I want to plant, I just go back to where my dry beans are, my dry peas are, and just plant them. You see what I'm saying? Because the seeds need to be mature in order for you to get a plant that will grow and be, good. You don't want to plant, I mean, you can plant the green ones and they probably will grow, but basically you want the seed to be mature if you can at all possible do that. Because the more mature the seed, the more it has time to, really seal in what it's supposed to have as a seed. Sometimes you plant immature seeds, you wonder why your plants aren't right. It's because the seed wasn't mature and it didn't get all the genetic information and stuff it needed. So anyway, if you've ever tasted a green one of those raw, which I don't like the taste of them, that's why you heard me spitting it out. Yeah, that's what it tastes like. It tastes like a green one raw. And I'm gonna be honest and tell y'all, I'm not a huge cowpea fan. It took for me to get grown and cook my own for me to really get to the point where I like cowpeas. I think people cook them wrong all the time. They either cook them to death or they're too greasy, or just like you never see me growing black eyed peas because I don't like the grittiness of black eyes. You always see me growing Lady Creams because they're creamier, or purple-eyed pink holes because they're a little creamier. Purple-eyed pink holes do taste a lot like a black-eyed pea, but I can taste the difference in them. Regular black eyes, too damn gritty for me. I don't like the ending texture of them. Lady Creams, I love. They're one of my favorites. The iron and clay cook up very similar, very creamy. Love those. The whippoorwills. All those that the enslaved people brought with them, love them. I love the texture of them. And I see why our ancestors, because be real with you, if I'm not mistaken, a white person bred the black eyed peas. And I think they bred them for their taste. I mean, I know a lot of black people eat them. I don't like them. It is what it is. But, yeah, that's what the green ones, and people talking about now granted, maybe if you cook them, and that's maybe what I'll try to maybe get some of these green ones and cook them, like some that are this stage, and cook them. And I'm not going to cook many, y'all, because this is a trial. I'm going to do that. And I wanted to tell y'all on this okra, know that you can eat the leaves, y'all. I'm going to do a video showing me cooking the leaves and trying them. I've never eaten the leaves, but you can eat the leaves. If I'm not mistaken, everything on the okra plant is edible. It's just some of it do you want to eat, because some of it's so woody, like the stem, that's like eating tree limbs. It's probably better used for a toothbrush than it is for eating, but you can eat it. It won't kill you. And I'm also going to show you all how to cook sweet potato green. I think sometimes people, I don't know, they make like it's rocket science or something. Child, I don't know. Y'all be doing too much. And that's why sometimes, y'all, I don't be so much worried about the tomatoes and stuff. Y'all, I got so much stuff out here I can eat. I can eat these leaves. I can eat the okra leaves. I can eat the squash leaves. You can eat the eggplant leaves. You can eat the bean leaves. You all see where I'm going with this? Sweet shorts you can eat. You can eat the kale, the green, herb. You see why I'm not worried about them damn tomatoes. I'm not really worried about it. You know, it is what it is. But these peppers I want to do right by because I'm sick of my peppers not being right. I need my seasoning. So that's that. Y'all stay tuned. I got things coming. I'm going to harvest that watermelon over there. It's almost time. I believe I'm going to harvest them tomorrow. What else I got going? My Jamaican sorrel is looking good despite, like I said, y'all right. He can take the heat, but Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Also understand this heat is different than Jamaican heat. Also understand that Jamaica, I'm not going to say they don't never get droughts. They don't get droughts like how we do. If anything, they'll fool around and get too much rain. Like they kind of get these rainy season type deals. So understand that it's a little bit different, even though Jamaica's hot. You're right, it's hot, it's humid. You're right about those two things. But this is a little bit different when you get a month plus with no water. My rain barrels, even though it rained 20 minutes, my rain barrels are still not full. A lot of them are half full. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to use all the water I can the next few days. Then it's going to rain for 2 days. Basically, I'm going to try to empty my water barrels and let all the rain from the 2 days fill my rain barrels back up. That's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to try to empty my rain barrels within the next 3 days. I got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It claims it's supposed to rain. I got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think, and Friday. I think it's supposed to rain Saturday and Sunday, I think. But anyway, we're going to see if that really happens. And I hope I don't empty my rain barrels in vain. Then it don't rain. I'm going to be looking stupid. So, with that being said, I have talked long enough. I hope y'all gathered a little bit of information. And until next time, see you guys later.